Welcome back, everybody, to another dicondissectional production hosted by Deathstroke9. Today we're going to be reacting to Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name, live in 1993. Okay, so before we get into this, I've heard this song before, many times. But this is a live performance that has been requested by a lot of people, and when I went to the link, it had a bunch of views, and it just looks cool, and yeah, I'm not sure I've seen very many videos of them playing live, and the one or two that I have seen, I like seeing Rage Against the Machine live. And also, we haven't done Rage Against the Machine in a while, so let me know what else by them I should check out down below in the comments, because, yeah, like I said, it's been a while. But, here we are. Thank you for joining me. If you're new to the channel, my name's Daniel, and here we react to music, and I try to figure out what the music and the lyrics mean to me personally. And, yeah, I'm excited to check this out. Now, this song is political, so just warning anybody who, I see sometimes in the comments people say, you know, I watch this channel to get away from political things or current events or just different things like that, which is perfectly fine. But this band is called Rage Against the Machine. They call themselves they're like an activist group, and this song, as far as I know, is pretty political in nature. So just warning at the beginning. All right, let's get into this. Killing at the Name, 1993. 3, 2. Also, before we get into it, as I keep on reiterating, I'm not making this full screen because it can make videos get blocked and it can mess up my setup. So, yeah. Hopefully I can figure out that problem at some point. But it also, like I said, stops things from getting blocked, so who knows. Here we go, 3, 2, 1.
They use force to make you do what the deciders have decided you must do. They use force to make you do what the deciders have decided you must do. They use force to make you do what the deciders have decided you must do.
That's the energy I'm talking about. Oh my god.
Come on. Rock! Killing in the name of... Some of those that work forces on the sick and burn crosses. Some of those that work forces on the sick and burn crosses. Some of those that work forces on the sick and burn crosses. Yeah. Killing in the name of. Killing in the name of. Do what they told you. Do what
Listen to
they
that
told
crowd.
you.
Oh my goodness.
Do what they told ya. Now you 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 do what they told ya. And now you do what they told ya. And now you do what they told ya. But now you do what they told ya. Those who died, are justified. No living a day, taking something what? You're justified. Those that died,
Wow.
taking something white. Those who died, are justified. No living a day, taking something white. Justified. Those that died, no living a day, taking something white. Forces.
I'm gonna pause it there. I freaking love this song. This song is such a I'm gonna say that this song is something of an anthem. especially with the ending of this song is very. This is a very powerful song. Yeah, watching this group perform live, they're probably the most energetic group I've ever seen live. Like, it's incredible. And the crowd was so like into it. I love that. Wow. You see, a lot of times when fans, and this happens a lot in on videos, like when I first started doing Nightwish, and I had a lot of people talking to me about Nightwish in the comments of my videos, and then I would watch Nightwish videos and see like their fans. The fans' enthusiasm for a group can be contagious a lot of times, and this is a great example of that. Like just watching this guy, what's his name is Zach De La Rocha, right? And him, you know, his expressions, it's like with his eyes closed, and he's like spelling it out for you, and then he's like, huh, and he's like, you know, it's he's conveying the message of the song very well, and being a larger than life figure, definitely playing to the back, and just, yeah, man, I'm glad that these people had this as an outlet, you know. And I hope that they were able to channel that energy towards good forms of activism. So hopefully they were. I think they were. But anyway, let's keep going. He's pointing at him one by one. I can't imagine being in that crowd. Come on! Yeah.
You tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Motherfucker! Yeah!
Jeez. Oh, man. Watching this now, look how soft the music industry has become. Well, they use force to make you do what the deciders have decided you must do. Yeah, that's not in the song. That was interesting. Dude, you're ripped as hell. Where do you work out? Nowhere. I'm the drummer for Rage Against the Machine. These guys weren't putting on an act. They are genuinely pissed off, and I can't blame them, okay? We need these guys now more than ever. When you sing about 2020 and 1993. Okay. This guy is really upset about the system. Well, yeah. Man. Tom Morello was insane. It was like nothing you'd seen before back then. He could literally make any sound in the world with his guitar. I bet it was freaking hell for parents when this song got big. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is true. I think my dad played, like, the song came on the radio while me and him were driving a couple different times. Not just this song. What was the other song? There were a couple different Rage Against the Machine songs that he'd like let play the first half of the song, and then he'd switch it off because of like he didn't want me to hear the cursing and stuff. That like they are very good at building up to an expletive filled, like very angry, aggressive ending, which works very well. Like Rage, that to me is part of Rage Against the Machine's style and works perfectly with their message and their persona and everything that they stand for. But yeah, and I've said this before, and this is just kind of my personal thing about cursing. And I'm bringing this up because a while ago I reacted to a George Carlin video, and there were a couple different people who commented beneath, like, complaining that he was cursing. Or that I was playing a video of someone who was cursing. And I don't know, it just... In my opinion, I don't really curse very often, or really at all. Like, you'll see me say hell on the channel. And dang. But when it comes to something like this, or when it's like necessary, or when you're trying, like, it's a shocking thing. Unless you do it all the time, in which case you're desensitized to it and it's not shocking anymore. Which is what seems to have happened in a lot of media nowadays, which, whatever. That's a totally different story. But when it's something like this, or System of a Down saying the F word in BYOB, or George Carlin talking about, or, I mean, he's a comedian. You know, it's shock value. It's funny a lot of times to shock people. Oh, it's funny. So shocking, it made you laugh a little, you know? It just, it all adds something to it. So anyway, just my 2 cents. I think it's sometimes necessary. But anyway, this is a searing protest song against police brutality. Killing in the Name was lead single from Rage Against the Machine's self-titled debut album, initially only reaching 25 on the UK charts. It was written 6 months following the Rodney King beating in 1991, which resulted in the LA riots. 17 years later, after a Facebook campaign in response to a manufactured artist from a TV show releasing a Christmas single, I watched a YouTube video that was like 20 minutes long. I don't know how long it was. A YouTube video about this specific thing. Like an artist won, was it X Factor? There was something where, for some reason, they tried to chart it again to try and stop a manufactured artist from releasing a single. They tried to, like, stop them from topping the charts. So they used it as that. So the single reached number 1 in the UK, number 2. This person writes number 2 on the Scottish. Yeah, on the UK, on the Scottish. Oh, okay, I understand now. Number 1 on the UK, number 2 on the Scottish, number 2 on the Irish, and number 4 on the European singles charts. In addition, the song became the fastest selling digital track, according to Guinness World Records. A little dose of anarchy for the Christmas holidays is good for the soul. I love the independent spirit of the British rock fans. Your country has a great, rich history of cutting-edge, exciting rebel music, whether it's the early Stones and the Who, or the Clash and Sex Pistols, or the Prodigy and Muse. I think that's what people are. I think that people are just fed up with being represented every Christmas holiday being spoon-fed some overblown sugary ballad that sits at the top of the charts. Tom Morello said that. Additionally, the album cover depicts a Vietnamese Buddhist monk in 1963 who set himself on fire. It is fitting to the anti-establishment message of the song itself. So yeah, then the lyrics are fairly repetitive and pretty straightforward. So we've got killing in the name of. And there's a blank at the end of that, which I always took to mean killing in the name of anything is wrong. Killing is wrong. So then here he says the strength of these lines are the blanks at the end. De La Rocha refuses to accept murder of any kind, whether it's in the name of God, ideology, or even in the name of the law. This way, it encompasses both the reasons for contemporary violence as well as any violent deeds that are yet to be founded. And then the majority of the rest of the song is about racial injustice. So some of those who work forces or who are in the police are the same that burn crosses, which I think you know what that means. And it was written specifically in response to the Rodney King beating. These lines have been interpreted as metaphorical indictment of racist institutions. They also reflect an undeniable literal truth. They infamously worked in concert with Southern law enforcement agencies to suppress desegregation efforts, even as recently as 2019. Yeah. Okay. As with most of Zach De La Rocha's early lyrics for Rage Against the Machine, this song has a very basic structure. This hook or intro, which also serves as the song title, is repeated throughout the song, highlighting the importance of his point, the abuse of power by those who have been given it to protect and serve. This simple, strong structure, which eschews a traditional verse-chorus format, uses repetition cleverly to highlight its protest points. Yes, this is the only type of song where I could be like, oh, I like the repetition of it. And then now they do what you told you, which is like, now you guys are just jumping through hoops at their command, right? Yeah. Now you do what they told you. And then later he's like, now you're under control. In the context of the song, these lines refer to resulting subservience of the masses through fear of the violence displayed by those in authority. However, the song has outgrown its context and can be applied to many other situations, namely subservience by distributors of fear to those in even greater authority, the real promoters of fear. Example, cultures that promote atmospheres of fear, faking subservience through dissolution of responsibility as an excuse for fear-mongering, learning not to question authority through indoctrination by a functionalist society. Those who died are justified for wearing the badge. They are the chosen whites. You justify those that died. Okay, like I said, it's a pretty political song. These lines reflect on the representational violence introduced by the hook, specifically police brutality. Speaking ironically from the killer's perspectives, he claims murder is justified by wearing a badge, insinuating that police brutality is no different from any other type of violence. And then the third line adds racism to the equation. The chosen whites connects to contemporary police violence to the roots of white supremacy in America, e.g., the KKK. Because their ideology understood Europeans to be the society chosen by God to civilize the rest of the world. Yeah. So anyway, then we return. It's, like I said, pretty repetitive song. Then we've got Now You're Under Control. The second pre-chorus is very similar to the first, but the introduction of a new line, Now You're Under Control, further emphasizes his mantra. In doing so, not only is he questioning why authority is followed, but expressly regarding subservience to relinquishing autonomy, the overlying theme of the whole song. Repeated here, and then we've got F you, I won't do what you tell me, over and over and over again. Subverting the previously repeated line of now you do what they told you, he states his stance of rebellion, a refusal to be controlled, and thus a denial of authority. He chants the same line 16 times, murmuring for the first 4 before building in a crescendo the next 4, then angrily screaming it the final 8 times, which is why their songs work so well. When Killing in the Name became UK Christmas number 1 in 2009, Rage Against the Machine performed this song on BBC Radio 5 Live. He was told not to swear, but he did not do what they told him. Oh man, I kind of want to watch that now. And he says, "Mother effer." Interestingly, when the song was debuted 6 months before their album came out, this now iconic middle finger to the establishment was not sung by frontman Zach De La Rocha. Footage of the show reveals that that line, the ending MFer, was actually screamed by an unidentified audience member. He has screamed it while performing live ever since. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, that whole ending build-up is what made this song was very, very impactful to me when I finally heard it all the way through for the first time. I was like, wow, wow. But anyway, yeah, thank you for joining me. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and let me know what other songs by Rage Against the Machine I should check out. Yeah, I've always liked them. Their lyrics are a lot of times founded in very specific contexts, right? But then a lot of times their lyrics have transcended the context they were originally put in, or the meaning of them. At least the mantras spoke, like Zach De La Rocha a lot of times raps, almost, not necessarily, but kind of raps and sings a lot of the lines. This song is kind of an exception where almost every line's a mantra, but he raps and sings stuff, then says something like, "You've got a bullet in your head," you know, and that's what you remember is the unless you go reading all the lyrics, you remember the build up where he starts screaming the same thing over and over again. Know your enemy, right? Just those little things can make it into, you can apply the songs to a lot of other things outside of just the context that they were originally meant to mean. Just in my opinion. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I will see you all soon. Deathstroke 9 out. Awesome live performance. The energy that they had was incredible.